Hey everybody out there, this is Seto Kaiba from your Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat channel, and today guys, we're going to talk about the ban list and my reactions to the ban list. So first off, my reactions to the ban list are pretty much eh. I really don't give two hoots. Like I said when I was making my ban list predictions on my ban list video, I said I really didn't think this ban list was going to be much. You have to keep in mind, there is more than 2 ban lists a year now. There are 4 ban lists, if I remember correctly, a year now. So they're not going to hit all the cards at once. That would just be crazy. So I wasn't really expecting a lot from this ban list. And everybody else seemed to be expecting, well, they're going to hit everything. They're going to hit this and they're going to hit that. I really wasn't expecting that much. And that's what happened. Not a lot happened. Nothing came off the ban list, really. But or off the cards that are banned. Nothing came back like everybody was predicting. But I digress. Pretty much my thoughts on the ban list are I'm okay with it. I have no complaints. I have no disagreements. I'm perfectly fine with it. They hit the top tier decks, the decks that were considered good this format, and now we're on to the next format. So even though I think that those decks, Fire Fist and Mirrors, will still be relevant going into next format. They won't be top tier, but they'll still be good. So pretty much them banning Morphing Jar and Morphing Jar 2, at first I was pretty much thinking to myself, why the heck did they ban these cards? And I guess they banned them because of the fact, after talking to some of my friends, which is one of the reasons why I didn't make a video right away, is because I wanted to talk with my friends and make sure I understand the cards they hit and why they hit them. But the reasons why they hit Morphing Jar, I came to find out, was because they don't want Jackpot 7 to be a really powerful deck, apparently. Even though I don't know why, if you just hit Morphing Jar to 1, it's already at 1, and why you hit Morphing Jar 2 to 1, and they're not searchable, so that makes the other auto win condition harder to get. I really don't understand why they did that. That was one of those things that was like, okay, you hit these cards, why? On the limited section, though, I agree with a lot of the things they did. They hit God Kindling. They finally hit God Kindling. They finally hit Rekindling after all these years. And a lot of players were very upset because Lavals. You can't go Laval Quasar. You can't go your OTK Quasar type decks. You can't do that no more. But maybe this would drive the price of Quasar down a little bit so I could buy one. Or this also means, because I always had theorized in my head and with friends, that maybe one of the reasons why they hadn't made a reprint of Quasar was because of Rekindling, and the fact that Rekindling Quasar Lavals was a thing. Rekindling and the Lavals making Quasar. So maybe that's one of the reasons they didn't reprint it, because they didn't want to make this deck a rampant deck in the meta. So maybe for the fact that Rekindling is hit and Laval Quasars are not really a thing, that they're not as good as they used to be, maybe they will make a reprint of Quasar, or Quasar's price will go down so I can buy one for my Synchron deck, my junk Synchron deck. So maybe, I'm hoping, I'm praying, but I digress. As for things like they hit, like Wolfbark, I was expecting Wolfbark to get hit in some degree. Too good of a card. As for Gunir, the Mermail card, forgive me if I pronounced her name wrong. I haven't really seen a lot of Mermail players play more than 1 or 2 of that card to begin with. I thought that Lindy or Abyss Squall or something of that nature, Abyssphere, excuse me, would be more the hit they would go on, but they didn't do that. So I think still, to some extent, Mermails are a very viable deck still. But we'll have to wait and see how time goes. As for other cards they hit, those were the main 3 cards they hit and the main 3 cards that I took note of. As of cards that got semi-hit, or I guess you could say semi-hit, was Heraldic Seal of Confiscation. I guess because E-Dragons are still a thing, they didn't want that deck to become overpowering, overbearing, possibly. That's just my 2 cents on that. These are the cards that I can think of note. I know I'm missing a couple cards. They also brought Necroface back to 2. I could see that maybe working in some Chaos Dragons type stuff, but that's about all I can think of off the top of my head. And after talking with friends and how they would use that card. And as for cards that came back is Primal Seed, which I remember a long time ago, one of my friends used to use that card with Blackluster Soldier in the beginning, back when he was at 3 and things of that nature. Way back in the day, like the Stone Age, but I digress. That card does have a good combination with BLS with a OTK type thing, but it's really not that viable. So overall, I'm okay with the ban list. I have no qualms about it. I know I forgot some cards on the ban list, but those are the cards that I feel that were more notable, the cards that I had thoughts about, I guess you could say, more of a thing to say about. But those are just my two thoughts. What do you think about this ban list that came out for April 1st? What's your thoughts on it? Do you feel that they should have hit some other cards? Do you think they should have brought some cards back, maybe? What's your opinion upon this ban list? A lot of people don't like this ban list because they brought nothing back. There's nothing new going into the meta. And I think going into early next format, which I'll talk about next week, decks that would be good next after April 1st, which I'll talk about next week, guys. I think it's going to be pretty much the same type of meta till Primal Origins comes out. But till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and tell me your thoughts about this ban list. Adios, guys.